Alright, so what I'm going to go over is just a couple of pairs, what I'm seeing for the next 4 hours. This is still my trade from yesterday. I could have got some continuations in here, but I was just quite happy to leave it out. I'm going to be doing another video discussing how I took this trade, but basically it was a breakout, break back in of a 1 hour area at a round number, well, just below a round number, and 4 hour strong resistance and daily resistance above the highs of a previous strong bullish day, yes, but above the highs and close to the highs of the current day with room to go to the lows kind of thing. So we were overextended. Price had shown the rejection and then it had pushed a bit higher, pushed down, it found some kind of support around my support level, but it was somewhat sideways bullish. So I then was looking for entries whenever price was above the highs of that 1 hour candle at the time, which is what happened. Price got above there, so I would sell high in terms of immediate term. I'll go over it obviously in more detail, but just in terms of the last 1 hour, I was above the highs of it at an area that I felt as if could go short. My original target was essentially down to the lows of the 11 till 12 candle as a continuation, and then the next support level at 1.2760 basically. And then the other one was low of the day, which was hit early this morning. So I've taken most of my position off. I'm going to see if this 1 hour break and retest holds. And I've moved my stop loss down to just see where things go. This could be an area that holds as the daily resistance. We've taken out the lows of yesterday and we've had a resurgence. So yeah, it's just whether this area becomes support. This 4 hour is going to close strong, pretty strong bullish. So a push back down into these lows could make sense, and then if price finds buyers around here, then I would expect a deeper pullback rather than a continuation. So it's all there for to see what price does. In terms of what I'm looking at, Euro Aussie is not a selling idea anymore due to the fact that we've gone higher, which is showing euro strength, which again is good for a dollar CAD continuation. We're coming into resistance here, but it's going to be a strong bullish candle in what I would deem as a possible uptrend on the 4 hour. It's not quite clear because we've not closed beyond here, and there's not a clear lower high area on the 4 hour. In the 1 hour, we are back at again solid resistance, but we've not respected the break and retest area, which then to the downside, which then says to me that the momentum to the downside isn't that strong. So what I would prefer is we can use this as a breakout, break back in area, because that's what it's done. It's closed back above. So now that we've made a new high of the day, what I always expect at a new high or a new low of the day is a pullback. So we have break and retest area down in here, or the breakout, break back in area, which would also be a pullback of a pretty large bullish candle. Previous day was somewhat bullish. I feel as if we have room to the upside in terms of a further push. I think that we can get up into 1.58. See where it goes. But I wouldn't be buying high on this current 4 hour because 4 hour 50 is just above. We're in a tight range. We're at the highs of the range, so we've just made a new high of the day. So I would be wanting a pullback now to either my kind of blue area or the break and retest area, the green area, which there's about 10, 15, 20 pips difference. So that's now a buyer's idea for me. Pound dollar, again with dollar CAD looking for further shorts. With my bias, I'm looking for possible longs. Now looking at this 4 hour, it's closing somewhat bearish, but I feel as if it's just been in a tight range all day so far, which is the case. So if we get momentum here, closes a 1 hour strong bullish, we should get a push above and then a retest of support, resistance turn support, and then look for another push. Yesterday did close bearish, but it's at a strong support area, which also obviously it depends on dollar CAD, the dollar itself, if it's going to get weaker, which looking at the dollar now, the DXY, it does look as though it has free movement to the downside, then I would be looking for pound dollar longs as well. So that's that. I'm aware of this break and retest area, that I feel this is why that reaction's happened, and it's came into the kind of low of last week as a kind of, well, the last low of last week, sorry, as a kind of reaction. So yeah, I think that this was just a reaction off of this break and retest area, but I think that we could get back above it, use it as support, and then get back into 1.37. So we've got a pretty clear momentum to the room to the upside. If we can just clear this area with momentum, then it would make sense to go higher. So that's that. That's a seller's idea. And I'll just go over the other two. Euro dollar, very similar to pound dollar. I'm looking for longs, continuation longs, or looking for evidence in this kind of break and retest area for shorts. But now the time of day, I would say that by the time it gets up there and then shows evidence, it would be probably too late in the day for me to be looking for a kind of quick trade anyway. So the best thing that I would do is look for a pullback, a deep pullback, and look for longs. We had a nice pullback here, and this current 1 hour came down to the lows of the last 1 hour, which obviously would be a lower time frame kind of double bottom scenario. And then we've had a break and retest on the 15-minute, and we're just about to make a new high of the day. So again, I would be expecting a reaction, a pullback, and yeah, that's where I set my alerts. So that's a buying idea as well. And then after this, after this one, I'll look at the market as a whole. Obviously, Euro New Zealand, strong bullish close yesterday, another bullish day today. It's looking like we could have a movement up into 1.7050. This should be a strong candle close, but again, we're making a new high today. We're making a new high in the 4 hour. So again, pullback is expected. So a pullback to where, you might ask? Well, if we close here in 12 minutes, if we close above here, that will create a 4 hour break and retest. We have a 1 hour break and retest down here, but if price gets down there, I wouldn't be looking for longs again. Now it's probably just a 4 hour break and retest type scenario, which is also this kind of larger 1 hour. If we look at the 15-minute, if there's any key areas on the way up, not really. It's not really. There's nothing really just now that kind of stands out to me. There's nothing. No kind of sellers that came in that then created new support on the way up. Obviously, we have this area down here, but again, if we were to get down there, that would be almost too big of a pullback. That would be back down close to the lows of this current 4 hour. So I wouldn't be interested in taking longs from there. What could be an option is create a new high today and then a pull back down to the lows of this current 1 hour or close to the lows, and then look for longs that way. So that's there. And let's just look at the market as a whole. So the yen's weak. Aussie is looking strong. Let's see out of euro pound. The euro is looking somewhat just now slightly stronger than the pound, but obviously overall it's in a downtrend, euro pound. So you have to keep that in mind. If you're looking for short term, then that's fine to expect a euro push. But longer term trades, you would have to say that the pound is stronger. Dollar CAD, that's exactly where I want it to be, down at the bottom. It's reacting off of this 1 hour potential break and retest area. Could be a nice 1 hour close. DXY, again, just where I want it, down at the bottom of my list. Aussie yen is looking as though it could have another push to the upside. It's a strong impulse. New support, another impulse. Euro yen, again, something must have triggered the yen pairs to have that impulse overnight with news or whatever. So just something to be aware of. Aussie dollar, all of those, again, it looks as though the dollar and the yen had a real kind of weakness overnight, and something's caused a push in both of them. So yeah, I would say dollar yen weakness, euro pound, Aussie New Zealand strength, and take it from there. There's nothing that really stands out to me in terms of those kind of pairs. I feel as if I'm quite happy to just look at these over. I'll look at euro yen as well. Well, we've done that. Just pull back in longs, and pound yen is another, but it's coming into a 4 hour break and retest area. That could be the reaction that's already happened in this current 4 hour. The reaction here. So if we have a solid push that makes a new high of the day, then looking for that lower time frame pullback and continuation would make sense. But yeah, we're in an area that makes sense, and we're above the highs of yesterday. Pound yen to me is actually quite messy on the higher time frames. It's not really been trending that well. That's why I've been preferring pound dollar. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Euro Aussie long. I think that now that it's made the new high of the day, it'll have brought in the kind of breakout buyers. Yes, it will also have made people think, right, it can reverse from here, which it can, but it could be just for a couple of hours before the next push comes to take it to the current high of the day, and then even further beyond. So keep that in mind. And then if the dollar does start to strengthen, then obviously these kind of ideas will possibly become invalid, because they are heavily biased towards the DXY, the US dollar being weak. So I hope this has been useful for you, and that you have a solid next 4 hours of trading.